So in this video, I want to take a close look at an affordable racing wheel from Hori. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, we are going to talk about, once again, racing wheels, because I'm a big fan of racing wheels. I grew up with these things, and I'm not like the very cool one now, but like the cheap edition from Mad Catz back in the day. Like, we'll talk about it in a different video, but now we're having so many options, sometimes too many, when you're looking like second-hand market, but also the new one. And this particular Hori wheel got my attention. So first of all, I know Hori of the arcade sticks, and they having like high quality arcade sticks. I'm a big fan of those. So I was curious, how is this Weheel Apex edition? It's normally for the PlayStation, but you can also use it on the PC. Okay, so the first thing I noticed, like, this is a very affordable wheel. I think they're selling this here for around 80 euro. Don't pay me on the price, it can be different of the country where you're living in. So the things that you're going to get with this, to like attaching it to your desk, like basically you have two different options. We're having the suction knobs and we're having like the normal bracket. Then we're going to get the pedals and of course the racing wheels. I want to talk about like what I think of it in general. So first of all, the racing wheels. This is like a budget, and you can see it with this budget. You don't get any leather or anything like that or metal. It's just like cheap and basic. It's like rubberized, not the ones that get sticky after some time. The rest is from plastic, and then we're going to get some extra buttons in the steering wheel. But it's very convenient if you want to use like a wheel without pedals. So it will give you some options. The layout will be for PlayStation 4, but also you can use it on PlayStation 3. So this is basically a hybrid steering wheel. A little bit of a bummer is that you don't have it for the Xbox so far now, or nevertheless you cannot use this one for your Xbox. So this is always like dedicated to a certain platform. But over here you can find the two switches. And with the switches, I'm not talking about the Nintendo Switch. Nope, I'm talking about the switches. Okay, let's see my camera focusing. Yes, okay, thank you. Here we can switch between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3 option. And at the right side, we can change basically like what it will mimic. Will it mimic the left or the right joystick, stuff like that. We also will including some shifter pedals. But the shifter pedals feel quite plastic, like cheap. I don't like them at all. The same goes for the click. Okay, the connection for the pedals, I don't like that one either. It works like with this old school, I think it's a 4-pin phone connector, or a phone connector that looks like a phone connector, like old school. But you don't have another option to connect it. But by the way, like, you cannot get it out very easily. I hope you can see it there. Like, it's going to be like a pain in the ass to get this thing out. So in my opinion, not a very good construction. The suction knobs work very well, like you can plug and play them very easily. And if you're having like a smooth surface, it works very well. Okay, so the bracket itself is a different story. I did some messing around with it. I am not the biggest fan of it. It's a good construction. It will put your like steering wheel very tight on your desk. But the way how it works, I have seen better. I like Logitech ones, like having the two separate screws that you need to screw in. But then overall, like when you're putting it on, it's very convenient. It's very obvious how you need to put it on. But I'm not a big fan of it in general. Like, it does its work, but it is not as tight like with the Logitech wheel. You can basically not get it out of your desk. And I noticed like sometimes you need to tighten it up really nice. Otherwise it will basically like bump off your desk. So the pedals, quite interesting story. And this is like the pedals that are cheap, but they got a very interesting option, and you're going to need this. Otherwise it's basically unplayable. So this way your pedals will stay on this position. So let's take a look at the angle. The angle is almost the same for both pedals. And what I find interesting with the construction is the following thing. Here you can see like the pedals don't have different springs that we do have with some of these things. They have like such a way, so we're having the same tension, like this is the gas. But when you're going to the other pedal, it's more like shorter. The same spring, but it's just shorter travel. Such a weird thing. Alright, so I have played this game and many games with different racing wheels, and take consideration this is not a force feedback racing wheel. The positive thing is you don't need an extra power supply, but you're going to get some rumble function, and the rumble function is quite noticeable. It's not like the rumble function you got back in the old days that you feel like a very slightly rumble. No, this time when you're bumping against something or you are going to shoot, in my case I'm having the miniguns, so when the barrel we're starting to boot up. You can feel like it's booting up, like it feels like you're going to start shooting. And that's like the minor things I really love about this racing wheel. So even without the force feedback, it's still very cool. But I'm just going to be honest, I'm preferring the force feedback over rumble.
Best lap. You're starting to flood me. Oh, right in the jewels. Kick your ass. Widowmaker. Eyeballs, your face. Wasting my time.
So in short, I think the Hori racing wheel is a very cool piece of equipment, but take consideration that like it is a completely different experience when you're looking at the rumble. Also the game support in combination with this wheel, for example the older games will have like not the same support when you're getting yourself an old second-hand racing wheel. Everything has its pros and cons in life, and there's also with a racing wheel like this. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.